So recently I was witnessing to somebody who I've known for quite a while. He's a big drinker. And there was a concept that I was trying to get across to him that there is such a thing as the wrath of God. Whenever we disobey God, then his wrath falls upon us. And in the middle of the conversation, I came up with this question for him, just a rhetorical question. I asked him, do you think that you're suffering right now? And he had been drinking for hours, and he was clearly in a pretty bad stupor at that point. He could still conversate because it's a regular occurrence for him, but nonetheless, very drunken. And I said, do you think that you're suffering? And he said, no. Of course, 99% of people, if they're sitting here like this in any given state, they're not going to think that they're suffering, right? I said, all right, for the sake of the argument, let's say that at this point in time, you have drank, you've had 12 beers, and you feel a certain way. I ask you if you're suffering, you say no. If we were to rewind time for the same day, and you were not to have drank 12 beers, and then I asked you at the same moment in time again, do you think that you're suffering? You would still say, no, I don't think I'm suffering. But if you were to compare that exact moment of if you had 12 beers versus if you had no beers, then there's an obvious distinction there that in one case you're suffering and in the other case you're not. And that's God's wrath working on somebody's life. And it's to humble them. And eventually God breaks us because he makes his enemies his footstool. And whenever we're humble before God, then we can stand upright in bold pride to the darkness.